Hey everybody, today we're going to go over the Law of Moses and ask, should we follow it today? I'm going to start by just presenting a couple of verses, then we're going to go through a couple of them, and then we'll present some resources, and I'm going to try to make it a shorter video. We're going to start off with Acts 17:11. This doesn't really pertain to the Law of Moses specifically. This is just for our own benefit. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily whether those things were so. So that is to say, you shouldn't take anything you hear online as true unless you look at it through the scriptures yourself. So we're going to go through verses to look into. I suggest that you read Acts, Romans, and Hebrews, at least to start. But if you're looking for more specific verses about the Law of Moses, I've put up several. Deuteronomy 5:2, Galatians 3:17, Genesis 26:5, Deuteronomy 4:8, Exodus 12:49, Romans 2:12, Jeremiah 31:31, Hebrews 9:9, Matthew 5:17, Luke 24:44, Galatians 3:25, John 4:21, John 13:34, John 19:28, Hebrews 7:18, 1 Corinthians 9:20 through 21, Galatians 3:23 through 25, Galatians 4 verses 4 through 5, and Hebrews 1:11. And you can go ahead and pause the video if you need more time to keep track of any of those verses, but I'm going to continue on. I'm going to go over Acts 7 momentarily, because there's specific things in Acts 7, specific concepts they go over, like that the Jews received the law, but they didn't keep it. They misunderstood the law, or they misunderstand the meaning of the temple, and the Law of Moses is fulfilled by Christ. Now I'm going to read Acts 15:13 through 21. And after they had become silent, James answered, saying, Men and brethren, listen to me. Simon has declared how God at the first visited the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name, and with this the words of the prophets agree, just as it is written. After this I will return, and will rebuild the tabernacle of David, which has fallen down. I will rebuild it, its ruins, and I will set it up, so that the rest of mankind may seek the Lord, even all the Gentiles who are called by my name, says the Lord who does all these things. Known to God from eternity are all his works. Therefore I judge that we should not trouble those from among the Gentiles who are turning to God, but that we write to them to abstain from things polluted by idols, from sexual immorality, from things strangled, and from blood. For Moses has had throughout many generations those who preach him in every city, being read in the synagogues every Sabbath. So Acts 15 is written at a time where Paul, Peter, and James, just to name the more specific characters involved in the story, are trying to figure out whether or not Gentiles should be circumcised. And in a broader sense, they're trying to figure out whether or not they should keep the law of Moses in order to be saved. And I think it's important to remember this story specifically because it gives such a strong case that we don't have to follow the law. And those who claim that we do have a lot of work to do in order for them to make that case, because it seems as though in the New Testament it is a very strong case for us to be free to do whatever it is we so please that is a violation of the law of Moses, because Christ's sacrifice is stronger than the law of Moses. Resources: I used a presentation by Dr. Chuck Missler. It's a very short video, and it's on the disannulling of the previous system, that is, the law of Moses. And then Pastor Mike Winger has a very detailed series on the Hebrew roots movement that I suggest that you look at. And I think the best way to explain the law of Moses as it stands today is to understand it as a teaching tool for the Jews. Israel had to understand who the Messiah was, and the best way to do that was to give them a standard by which they couldn't keep, and then have the Messiah come and fulfill that standard for them as a sacrifice. It's the simplest way to explain Christ's purpose for us, and ultimately it builds a strong case for why he's so much stronger than us, why he's perfect. Because you are more than welcome to make an attempt for even a day or a month to follow the law of Moses, but he followed the law perfectly for 33 years approximately, and then he passed. I believe it's 33 years, because he would have started his ministry at 30. You shouldn't quote me on that. It's important to note that while you don't have to follow the law of Moses, those who do follow the law of Moses, like Jews or people who believe that they should, are no less our brothers so long as they follow the word of Christ. And while it might be easier for them to set themselves free of that standard, in the end, you shouldn't judge them too harshly for keeping that standard. And that's all I have for you today. Have a good rest of your day.